welcome back. It's Jennifer. Today I'm going to make spaghetti, but this is for meat lovers spaghetti, F-O-U-R. I'm going to show you what I got here. I've got some thin spaghetti, that's what I like. I've got sweet Italian sausage. Now if I was making this for myself, it'd be one sweet and it would be one spicy, but this is not for me. Everybody can't handle the spice. Get your favorite sauce. I've got Prego chunky tomato, basil, and garlic. My husband and I really like basil and oregano. One of my trick ingredients is this. You got to get tomato paste. One can get it with the herbs. Very important. And as you see, I got oregano. I'm cheating today. I'm going to use the garlic in the jar. I'm not going to cut it up. I got Lawry seasoning salt, oregano, Italian seasoning. One of my other secret ingredients is fennel. I've got my mortar and pestle. I'm going to crush some of that. The two meats, that was sweet Italian sausage. I got a smoked sausage here. If you like kielbasa, Polish sausage, I can't tell the difference. Grab one of those. I've got 80-20 of ground beef. I'm only going to use half of this. And then I've got pepperoni. And then I've got some garlic powder, onion powder, and a little bit of parsley. And basil. Got the basil here. Normally I would do onions. If I was going to do this fresh, I would chop up all my fresh onions and garlic. But for this spaghetti, like I said, it's not just for me. And they don't want to spot a bunch of onions in there. So I'm going to put this on pause and get everything set up for you guys, and then we'll get cooking. Okay, you see it's almost finished cooking, so I'm going to put this on pause for a second and be right back. Okay, now I'm back. As you see, the meat is pretty much done. I've got a lot of color on it. My stove is electric, so as long as I let it sit there, it will continue to cook. And this meat is almost brown, as you see. So, yeah, you can use whatever sauce you like. You can always alter this with any kind of seasoning you like. We like basil and oregano, and I do use that fresh when I have it, but I'm just showing you guys a quick way to make the bomb spaghetti. So I'm going to drain this right quick. It's pretty much cooking. I'll be right back. Okay, I've got it all drained, and I'm going to use a little paper towel just to make sure I get the last bits, because nothing like greasy spaghetti. I don't like greasy. Oh yeah, and by the way, you can add green peppers. Now I just don't like green peppers in my spaghetti, and I'm a green pepper lover. I just don't really care for them in my spaghetti. Yeah, it's making mess. Okay, now my other trick to make my spaghetti different. This is the tomato paste with herbs. I cut off both tips of the can and then just push it through. That way you don't have to try and scrape it. Have a bunch of nonsense. Now, with tomato paste, you really should cook it. A lot of people don't know that. I learned that from my African roommate. I'm going to show you her recipe for spam one of these days. But yeah, it needs to cook. So I put it down here in the pan. I'm actually going to cut the heat back up and cook this tomato paste. Yeah, you really want to saute it and get it all mixed in with the meat. And that's done. And while you're doing that, also a good idea, you can add the garlic at this point. And I'm going to add 2 heaping teaspoons. We like garlic, and this is in water. You can get it in oil. I really don't care for it in oil. You have to be careful with garlic, it'll burn, so that's why I added it with the tomato paste to cook it. You just want to cook this for a couple minutes just to make sure it's all cooked and mixed in. And like I said, that tomato paste has extra tomato flavor. And it also has extra herbs in it, so really seasoning tough here. And what I'm going to do, since that's done, I'm going to pull this off, and I'm going to get my water going. So, my pasta will be ready. So here that is. I'll put that on high. And I'm going to wait till it's boiling to add the salt. I've heard on the Food Network from the chefs, you mess your pans up if you add the salt before the water starts to boiling. So as you see, I'm still cooking this and mashing my meat up with the tomato paste to get that nice and cooked. Now, if you want to do a homemade, what you do is you use a different pan and you'll cook this tomato paste with just the onions and make a fond, as they call it, where this would brown all over the bottom of this pan. And then you would have to deglaze it with a red wine or white wine or beef stock or even water to get that all deglazed. So now that this is all mixed in, I'm going to cut this down and start adding the sauce. Now I have 3 jars, and I'm using Prego Chunky. So I'm going to add that right in, just like that. And then I always store them upside down while I'm waiting because you'll get more just from gravity. Just a little trick. Get stored like that and then let it sit while you're still working on this. And get this mixed in as you're still stirring. And then you want to add your second jar of sauce. I like it chunky, and I like the chunks of tomato, whatever you like. Like I said, because spaghetti to me is personal, you know. Some people like it with, like I said, lots of green peppers, celery. You know, my mother asked, are you gonna put celery in it? No, I never put celery in my spaghetti. I just don't. So, now that I've got that in there, now I'm gonna add my meats. Here's my my smoked sausage. And I didn't even look at the pack. It could have been kielbasa, smoked sausage, who knows. So this is the second jar, and I'm gonna go ahead and add a third of the chunky Prego. I may not add the whole thing, but my husband always says I have too much meat when it's over and not enough pasta when the spaghetti's done, because I always hate to be short on the meat. You know, like you're trying to stretch it. You know, people that put 6,000 strings in there, you just got a little bit of sauce and you're fighting for the meat. So yeah, I'm always, you know, trying to make sure that that's balanced. So now I'm going to cut this down, and now I'm going to add all the rest of my spices. So I do have some Italian seasoning. I got this like from the dollar store. Who knows, there's some everything in there. So I'm going to add quite a bit of that. And like I said, we like basil and oregano. It's one of our favorites in spaghetti. So I just bought some basil. That's quite a bit. And like I said, oregano. We're big on oregano. Now a lot of people don't know this, but yeah, season your food. Don't be afraid to not season it. Italian sauces, a lot of times, well, what makes it Italian is the fennel. And we really like the taste of fennel, so that's why I bought fennel and mortar and pestle. Now you can add the fennel. I do add some of it like this, but I like to really smash up a bunch of it with my mortar and pestle and really get that flavor in there for the fennel, because it gives it more of the Italian flavor taste. That's why I only added a half a pack of hamburger meat, if you noticed, because that way you get more of an Italian flavor taste. Now, I'm going to put this on pause, grind that up, and I think I'm going to cut these in half with my scissors, my pepperoni, and go ahead and add that in. I'll be right back. Stay with me. Okay guys, I thought I'd show you how I just cut these up with scissors. You can separate them. You can use them whole if you like. I'm just cutting them this time. And do as your discretion, how much you like, how little you like. Just a different flavor with 4 meats. A lot of people have never had spaghetti with smoked or Italian sausage in it. I'm sure they might have had pepperoni, but not with the smoked or Italian sausage. Now I'm going to add some more sauce to this because, you know, I like it kind of thick. If you watch my Sloppy Joe recipe, you know I like it pretty thick. So yeah, I got my fennel mortared and pestled here, where it's pretty much ground. I tried to find it ground. I'm gonna tell you, it's more expensive if you can get it ground, but I prefer it ground. Goes further. I think the flavor goes further in the food. And which you guys know, I had sugared everything, so I have. This is about 1/2 cup sugar. I know it seems like quite a bit. I may not add the whole thing, which I'm not. It's just a little bit short because I really don't want this sweet, but it does change the flavor profile by adding the sugar. And I'm gonna stir that up, and as you see a little color on the sausage. It looks like it got a little extra love. So I'm gonna go ahead and stir this up and let this cook. Now this needs to simmer for about 30 minutes. I'm gonna cover it up, let this simmer, and get back with you guys. Stay with me. Okay guys, I'm back. Now as you see, I've got my water boiling over here with my pasta. So now that it's getting hot, I'm gonna add some salt. And as usual, I promise you guys a joke. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell the joke. You're gonna salt the water after it's boiling. I'm gonna get it pretty salty. They say that's the only time you can season your pasta. And I'll show you another trick once it gets to a raging boil. But anyway, I'll tell you my joke. This guy, he goes into a bar. It's called the Three Miracle Bar. And he walks in and he sees a bunch of people around. It's packed. So he goes up to the bar, and as the owner, who happens to be the bartender, he said, "What's going on in here?" He said, "Can I get you something to drink?" He said, "Yeah, let me get a shot in a beer." Now, when I was going to college, they called these Boilermakers. So he says, "Yeah." He's giving him a shot in a beer taste. He said, "What's the deal here?" He says, "What's all that money?" He said, "Well, that's about $500,000 in that glass case." And he said, "You're welcome to it, but it costs $100 to try." And he said, "Wow." He said, "What you got to do?" He said, "You got to perform 3 miracles at this bar." He said, "They've never been performed." He said, "Let me get a shot in the beer." He said, "Well, what are they?" He said, "Well, you see that big guy over there in the corner playing pool? With all the spike and the leather on and all that around his neck?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "Let me give him a shot in the beer." He said, "You got to go up to him, hit him, 1 punch, and knock him out." He said, "Okay." He said, "That's pretty cool. That's the first miracle." He said, "Let me get a shot in the beer." He said, "What's number 2?" He said, "Okay." He said, "The second miracle is we got a pit bull out back. You got an abscess tooth. You got to go back there and pull it." He said, "Let me get a shot in the beer." He said, "You go out there, you pull that tooth, come back in number 3. He said, "What's number 3? He said, "Give me a shot in the beer." He said, "We got a lady upstairs who's never been satisfied by a man." He said, "Oh, wow." He said, "I got to do all 3 of those and I can get the money?" Stirring this right quick. He says, "Yeah." He says, "So, okay." He gives the bartender $100. "Let me get a shot in the beer." He takes the shot in the beer. He goes over to the guy shooting pool, 6'5", about 300 pounds, all leather. Swing, cocks his fist back, 1 hit, boom, he hits the floor. Everybody in the bar is like, "Oh my God, oh Lord, he did it," because it's never been done. So he comes over to the bartender and says, "Let me get a shot in the beer." He goes out back with the pit bull. Everybody is tripping. They're like, "Oh Lord, here we go." So the man's out there. You hear howling, scratching, biting, screaming. Show you a trick too. One thing, when you do these, twist it this way, one this way, this one, then and drop it, and supposedly they won't stick. I've tried this and it works. Anyway, so he goes out back and they're fighting. You hear biting, scratching, howling, all kinds of hell breaking loose. The guy is screaming, the dog is barking and squealing. After about 20 minutes, they're like, "Somebody get him." The owner said, "No, he paid his money, gets a fair shot like everybody else." The man comes back in, he's torn up, his clothes are barely on, his pants are all ripped to shreds, and he says to the bartender, "Let me get a shot in the beer." He says, "Okay, now where's the lady with the abscess tooth?" You get it? He went outside and satisfied the dog. He was supposed to pull the dog's tooth who had the abscess tooth. Yep, that's my joke. Hope you thought it was funny. Got some tongs here, got this on high. Yes, supposedly I saw that little trick. If you twist it and put them in at the same time, they won't stick. So this needs to cook, I'd say about 30 minutes on low, and get that nice and the longer you let it cook, the better it'll taste, in my opinion. And we'll let the spaghetti, the pasta cook and get out. Now I like mine, I don't like al dente, I like it overcooked. I don't care what nobody says, I like my pasta done. I don't want any bite in it, any chew, any gumminess to it. So cook it to your liking. Mine will be, according to the chefs, Top Chef, the Food Network, overcooked. But I'm one of those people that if I have a salad, I want more dressing than lettuce. I like it overdressed, I don't like it underdressed. So I'm gonna put you guys on pause again and get this going, and then we'll finish with this 4-meat spaghetti with the Italian sausage, pepperoni, a little bit of ground beef, and smoked sausage, kielbasa, or Polish sausage, whatever you want to call it. Oh, and by the way, I have 11 subscribers, you guys. Thank you so much. I know who 2 of them are, my husband and his co-worker. the other 9, thank you. Trying to grow my channel. I'm going to start doing some giveaways and stuff like that once I get more people and make it more worthwhile. But anyway, I'll put you guys back on hold and get this pasta together. Hang tight. Okay, everybody, I'm back. You see my pasta's almost done. Probably to most people it's done. But you know I'm going to go a couple extra minutes because I don't like it al dente at all. And if I had my way, I would break it. But I read an article, if you break the spaghetti before you cook it, it'll never twirl. And a lot of people like to twirl their spaghetti, so that's the only reason I didn't break it. Because I like my spaghetti broken up, like kind of chopped. Kind of like a baked spaghetti, how you get it in some smaller pieces. But hey, to each its own. So I'm going to let this go a few more minutes, drain it, and then combine this and show you how this all turns out. So I will be right back. Okay guys, I'd say the spaghetti has cooked long enough. I'm going to go ahead and drain this right quick. Okay, so I'm going to cut that off and I'm going to show you what I got. Okay, got my spaghetti here. Now I'm going to add the meat. And you see it's bubbling and boiling, so I'm going to pour it in. It looks like a lot of meat for that little bit of pasta, don't it? I'm going to hold back. I may have to boil some more pasta. And as I told you guys, that's my MO, because I'm always afraid. I do not like to have be starving for the meat, looking for the spaghetti. So I'm going to mix this together and show you how this turns out. Now, it's best to let the meat, if you can, simmer for like 30 minutes. And then mix this. And see, to me, this is cool. Still looks kind of loose, but see, I like for the sauce to stick to the spaghetti. So this is not looking like I like it to look. But you guys gotta up your spaghetti game. Add more meat. Try adding some smoked sausage. Try adding some pepperoni to whatever your favorite pasta dish is. Whatever you like. We like a lot of Parmesan. So I'm gonna go ahead and add some of that at the end. But we do add it on our plates too. This kind of thickens up right, make a mess. Sauce a little bit. So this is for meat lovers spaghetti. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Please give it a try. Add the pole sausage, add the pepperoni, whatever sauce you like, all your spices. And it will definitely take it to another level. Thank you so much for watching. If you've never been here before, thanks for stopping by. Please come back. And if you've been here before, thanks for coming back again. Please share and subscribe. And God bless. Thank you so much. This is Jens for FOUR Meat Spaghetti. Have a good night.